Okay, 12 days ago, I made a prediction on my channel that Joe Biden was going to resign and resign very soon. And that wasn't a stretch. I certainly wasn't the only person saying that. And I said that he would resign by that weekend, which was the weekend before this last one. Today is Wednesday, July, 24th, I think. I was off by about a week, but of course he did resign about a week later under great pressure. So now I'm making another prediction, and I believe you can take this to the bank. I don't think this is a big stretch at all. But I believe it's going to happen very quickly. Biden is supposed to be making a speech today. He finally came out from his hiding place and made his appearance yesterday, so he's back in Washington. Today, Wednesday, he's supposed to be making a speech, uh, which I assume is going to address the information he tweeted that he was not going to run again. So finally, he's getting around to making a speech. Maybe he was incapacitated. I don't know. That would be no surprise. I don't know what else the speech might be about from, I assume, the Oval Office. But I am calling it, folks. I'm telling you that Joe Biden is not going to last. He's going to resign the presidency, and I believe it's going to be very soon. Could be today, could be in the speech, although I doubt that. There would probably be some advance information, as there was when Nixon gave his speech and resigned. Everybody knew by the time he gave his speech that he was stepping down. I don't think those things just happen. But I believe very soon, within the next few days, perhaps as long as a week, he's going to be making another speech and he's going to be resigning. And just as he resigned or retired or got out of the race for reelection for the nomination, just as he did that, because I maintain he had no choice, I believe he's going to resign from the presidency because of the pressure that is on him to do so. Now, why is he going to resign? Here's my summation of the issue of the matter at hand. Joe Biden is going to resign for several reasons. Number one, in no particular order, there's no point in him staying. There's no point in him remaining as president. He's 81 years old in extremely poor health. He is completely ineffective. His schedule is usually clear every day. He's not doing anything. He's every time you go look at the White House website, it'll say there's a part that talks about the president's schedule, and his part will say there are no events scheduled today. I mean, it happens all the time. He's not doing anything. Uh, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but there's simply no point in him remaining as president. He is of no help to Kamala Harris. He cannot campaign, obviously, in his diminished capacity. Another reason he's going to leave, or at least be pressured to leave, is because it's going to boost Kamala Harris's um, profile, if you will, or her influence. It's going to boost her in the polls in her own run for the presidency. Remember, if Biden resigns as president, Harris takes over. She becomes president. She would be the president. And there is a benefit to that, makes her the incumbent. And there is a benefit at times to running as the incumbent. And it would be a big boost to her campaign. And that's another reason I believe Biden is going to resign. In my estimation, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden is busy. His handlers, his people, his closest advisors are probably working on hammering out some sort of an exit package for him prior to leaving. They're probably negotiating some deals right now that will be to his benefit and perhaps to his family's benefit in exchange for his resignation. That's what I believe is going on, because remember, once Biden resigns, he has zero leverage. He has zero power, zero influence. His signature means nothing once he's out of the Oval Office. So he has got to play his cards wisely before he resigns. And I'm sure that he has one son out and about who's waiting around with bated breath to make sure that some sort of pardon gets signed before the big guy leaves office. A couple of other reasons. It is awkward right now for Kamala Harris for Joe Biden to remain. She's trying to run her campaign to win the presidency, and Biden is not an asset to her. Obviously, he is a liability. He's not helping her in any way, shape, form, or fashion. He needs to go for her benefit because he's not helping her whatsoever. There's no way he can help her. There's no way he can boost her candidacy at all. She needs to be the incumbent to run against Trump. That's her best shot. And another reason that Biden is going to resign is the same reason that Biden got out of the race, and that is because the Democrats want him gone. The Democratic machine, the DNC, the Schumers and Pelosi's of the world who went to visit Biden, Schumer did anyway, and basically told him, Joe, you got to go. These power brokers in Washington, they want Biden. They wanted him out, and they got him out. Now they want him out of the presidency. They want all of their focus to be on Kamala Harris. Biden is weighing the whole thing down. He's like an albatross around the Harris campaign. The power brokers, the people that are actually handling Biden and behind the scenes, the powerful Democrats, the donors, they want, mark my words, folks, they want Biden gone. Kamala Harris has raised an incredible amount of money ever since Biden got out of the race, and she basically assumed the mantle, if you will. But the Democrats want Biden gone, and that's why he's going to go, because he doesn't call the shots. Remember that. The people behind the scenes are calling the shots, and they want Biden gone from the White House. They want him gone from the presidency. They want Harris to be in the optimal position to take on Trump this November, and that's another reason why he is going to go. Now, I want to move on from that. Just mark my words. Biden is going to resign the presidency. Kamala Harris is going to be president, folks. As abhorrent of an idea as that is to me, it's going to happen. Donald Trump is going to be running against President Kamala Harris, and it's as simple as that. That idea of her being president is repulsive to me, but that's what we're looking at. Is it going to make a difference? I don't believe it is. Now, you're seeing some early polling that Harris is doing very well. I've seen a couple of polls that she's actually now moved ahead of Trump. Don't buy into that, folks. There's always some initial excitement when a person is in a position like this and she's, like a new toy or whatever. Candidates usually get bumps out of their convention. But when it's all said and done, folks, just remember, it is the Biden-Harris ticket that has given us this insufferable inflation. It is the Biden-Harris ticket that has killed the economy, the good economy that Trump left office with. It is the Biden-Harris ticket that has put us on a war footing with Russia. It is a Biden-Harris ticket that bombed the Nord Stream pipeline. Okay, that was Biden, but Harris is right there with him. Not that she made that decision, but she is in the Biden administration. It is a Biden-Harris ticket that has done so much damage to this nation. And she can't get away from that. She's part of the problems that we are facing right now. And she is, as far as I'm concerned, joined at the hip with Joe Biden. And Trump would do well to keep pointing that out during the campaign. So I believe at the end of the day, the American people are weary of the misery that we're going through right now. and they're going to want to change. And I believe that's why Trump is ultimately going to prevail. Now, I want to move on to Black Lives Matter and what Black Lives Matter has to say about Kamala Harris. This is really, really interesting. Now, for anyone who may be interested in skin pigmentation, I am not, but apparently there's a lot of people who are, because Kamala Harris is being presented by many folks as an African American woman. Just to clarify, folks, she is not. Kamala Harris's father is a man by the name of Donald, and he is a Jamaican man. That's where he's from, Jamaica. He eventually moved to California and became a professor at Stanford. Kamala Harris's mother was a woman. She's no longer among us. Her name was Shyamala Gopalan, and she was from New Delhi, India. So her father is a Jamaican, and her mother is a native of India. So Kamala Harris is in no way, shape, form, or fashion an African American or a black woman, if you care about such things. Her parents met. Her mother went to Berkeley in California, Berkeley University, and her parents were civil rights activists. So that is her lineage, just in case you're wondering. And maybe that's a reason, I don't know, that the good old people over at Black Lives Matter have an issue with her. Maybe they don't like her passing herself off, which she does, as an African American. Let me get a sip of Morning Joe. But I want to show you what Black Lives Matter had to say on Twitter with regard to Kamala Harris. And what they're talking about is, it's almost conspiratorial how Joe Biden can exit the race and just basically hand the nomination over to Kamala Harris. And I want you to look at what Black Lives Matter had to say over on Twitter. Take a look at this, if you can see it. This is what they posted. They say the timeline of events on Sunday, Joe Biden drops out. Kamala Harris announces campaign with the Biden endorsement. Kamala Harris says she is going to work hard to earn the nomination. Kamala Harris makes calls to party delegates on Monday. Kamala Harris continues making calls to party delegates. Kamala Harris makes 2 public speeches. The Associated Press announces Kamala Harris has secured enough delegates to be the Democratic nominee on Monday night. Kamala Harris releases this statement, noting she has worked hard to go out, quote, go out and earn this nomination, unquote, as promised on Monday night. A 24-hour process of talking to party bosses is not democratic, nor is it a process Democrats should be proud of. We do not live in a dictatorship. Delegates are not oligarchs. Installing Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee and an unknown vice president without any public voting process would make the modern Democratic Party a party of hypocrites. We call on the DNC to create a process that allows for public participation in the nomination process, not just a nomination by party delegates. There you have it from Black Lives Matter. For the first time in my life, I agree with Black Lives Matter. Can you believe it? This old boy down in Alabama. They're right, folks. They're right. The Democratic Party is doing a really undemocratic thing here, are they not? I'm kind of salivating because what I want to see is an open convention, a brokered convention in Chicago. I want to see some floor fights. I want to get out The popcorn I can't eat because I'm a carnivore, as you know, but I want to maybe get us some jerky, and I want to see some floor fights. I want to see it like it was in '68 when Hubert Humphrey ultimately prevailed. I want to see an open convention. I want to see a bunch of Democrats challenging Kamala Harris for the nomination. That's the democratic process, is it not? These people, the Democratic is the last thing the Democrats are. The funny thing is they accuse Trump all the time of being a dictator. Well, what is this? Biden just drops out and just says, here, Kamala, you can have all my delegates. It's like Kamala is his hand-picked successor. That sounds almost like monarchy, not democracy, doesn't it? I mean, shouldn't they throw it open and say, you know, I mean, Biden is such a fraud anyway. I mean, he got all the delegates, and now at the last minute, oh, I think I won't run after all. Well, thanks a lot. Why don't you let Bernie Sanders fight it out with, I don't know, a couple of other Democrats and see who gets the delegates instead of just giving the nomination to Harris by acclamation or by designation. I mean, you don't get to handpick your successor. People have to vote on these things. How do you think this makes Bernie Sanders feel? I want to see an open convention. I would love to see Robert Kennedy go to Chicago and be able to contest the acclamation or the ascension of Kamala Harris. Make it a slugfest. But the Democrats don't want to do that. They're going to coalesce behind Kamala Harris. She's going to be the president, and she's going to run against Trump as the incumbent. That's my take on it. And Black Lives Matter is a little hacked with this non-black woman who is about to become the president, in my opinion. And I'm with the BLM. I think they're right. I think they're exactly right. They're probably a little aggravated at Kamala Harris passing herself off as what she is not. It's not like her parents are from Selma, for heaven's sakes, Jamaica and India. Maybe that's what's got the folks at BLM a little hackled this morning. I don't know. There you have it. Biden's going to resign. Take it to the bank. Maybe you think I'm off base here. I don't know. That's fine. Give me your comments down below. Love to hear what you got to say. Give me a thumbs up on the old video. Like it, share it, subscribe if you have not. This is Trailer Trash Tim, and I will talk to you soon.